Playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Division S playoffs. Yes, we're starting right into them. Feel the heat against Crystal Gaming, our first best of 5 series. So we are in the playoffs. 2 days where we're going to run all of those games. And also every single match is a best of 5. So that trend continues. Which brings us to a lot of games because we have a double elimination system. So in the first round, we're focusing now on Feel the Heat and Crystal Gaming. And this should be an intense match, honestly. Feel the Heat, the favorite, I'd say. But Crystal Gaming, they had these strokes of genius every now and then when they were playing, where they just play absolutely out of their mind. And the Zarya ban is already indicating that both of the teams are, of course, targeting specific heroes on the other side they want to get rid of as quickly as possible. Especially with Ixia playing for the French team in red. They want to make sure that he doesn't get access to Zarya. And they also ban out Medivh and Maiev. Guys, Deathwing is open. Deathwing is actually open for once in a competitive match, and that shifts things quite a lot. So now in Towers of Doom, we had Medivh banned out instead, and Blade locks in Deathwing right away. So here we go. The immediate counter, Leo and Greymane. We've seen that pattern a few times when Deathwing was played, in an attempt to lock him down and really just exploit his high hit point pool with percentage damage. So, yeah, they definitely knew exactly what they were doing here. So the opening gamble, saying, well, the gambit here with allowing Deathwing through and then playing around it. So we'll see how that pans out for the red team. It's definitely something that I didn't actually expect in the first series, at least. So now Malfurion and Jaina as a follow-up. Dainu's Zeratul isn't banned out. I was actually considering if they might go and pick Zeratul for him, but doesn't seem like it. I guess there is still an opportunity to do that, right? Because Deathwing is going to take the side lane. So there's a chance that they are going to swap some heroes around and allow Dino to go for Zeratul here. Interestingly enough, we have again Samuro banned out. I mean, it's a hero that Feel the Heat plays and played quite a bit, so it's going to make things interesting for sure. By the way, I'm also going to try and include the bracket in the description of the YouTube video if you're currently watching this series on YouTube. And if you do, hit that like button. Thumbs up right there. But keep in mind, by the time that you watch this, the tournament is likely going to be over, or at least already underway, so you will most likely spoil yourself for the upcoming matches if you check out the bracket in this early series. So, yeah, just saying. Also, there's a chance that I forget about adding it afterwards, but like, I'll try and keep it in mind. Yeah, Lucio gets banned out too, and that's something that you don't really see all that often. It's more so because we have on the other side, of course, Ixia playing a lot around that hero. Here comes the Sylvanas pick. Alright, trying to burst, of course, these towers down. And Ixia on Stukov. This is, by the way, on the patch 49.4. So there have been a few changes to heroes like Stukov's slight buffs. Most of the heroes have just been touched a little bit and haven't really been reworked too much. The only hero that has actually seen more of a rework is Zul. And Zul is banned because there's currently a bug with the skeleton damage that prevents him from being played in the competitive environment. But outside of that, most of the other heroes have only seen small adjustment. We might talk about a few of them. And there it is! Zeratul gets played. Okay, Dino can now once again show off his assassin skills with Wit locking in ETC. And, well, let's see what the last pick for Crystal Gaming is. They seriously must have known that there's a chance that Zeratul is getting picked. They must have known that there's a good chance for it. Garrosh comes in, so both sides with a solid setup. And with this, we're heading into game number 1 of our best of 5. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump straight in. Game on! Game number 1, Towers of Doom. Time to party and party hard. On the left side, Feel the Heat with Exor and Malfurion. Dino on Zeratul. It's gonna be fun. Ultralisk on Jaina. We have Blade on Deathwing and Wit on ETC. And then again on the right side, the red team with Kolios on Greymane. The French team with Ixia and Stukov. Slate on Leoric. Yasu on Sylvanas. And Skilby on Garrosh. Alright, let's get this party started. I'm definitely hyped for it. Already the cleave build variation for Zeratul again. If you've been watching some of those in-house matches, they've definitely played around the auto attack style a little bit more lately again. And with they, I mean Tai and Dino. But we're seeing the cleave variation here. Draconic Might as the level 1 talent for Deathwing. That's something that Blade really likes to do. It goes a little bit of a different way than most of the Deathwing players that we've seen so far in Europe. Always with the caveat that Deathwing normally gets banned out, so we actually don't see him all that much. But yeah, the action is in. Now we might see actually at some point a few heroes make an appearance that are usually not played all that much. Again, this is on the newest patch. Most of the heroes have only seen very small tweaks. That could definitely change things a little bit though. Reyna, for example, has lost some damage on his level 1 talent, quite a significant amount of damage actually, which triggered a few players in in-house games to instead go for Exterminator outside of Battlefield of Eternity, something that is usually not really the case. So it's going to make things definitely interesting for sure. But as this stands, we have now to the top side Zeratul trying to make Leo's life a little bit more difficult. And the teams are of course looking at the pumpkin camps, always fighting for the bot lane control. And it seems like Crystal Gaming is ready for some aggressive action, is jumping in immediately in an attempt to take them down right there. So here we go. Yep, there's the hit. There's the camp, and they just zone them out. I mean, the problem that the red team now has is that they actually let their own camp slide. So they delayed the entire thing in an attempt to steal the camp away on the blue team side, but that didn't really work out. So that gives the blue team, in theory at least, an opportunity to invade. And they seem like they at least want to nib around the edges a little bit and see if they can actually make that happen. Also, there's a kill potentially against Garrosh, and they lock him down. Yeah, but Zeratul also falls. Early on, there's not as much mobility on Dino's hero just yet, so that's a bit of a problem for survivability. Wit also low as Ixia tries to go in. Ixia, yeah, the root locks him down here. Good old Stukov got ready for the slap there, but couldn't connect it. So, level 4 versus level 4. Yeah, we're not 4 kills just yet. So, 1-1, here we go, bam. There's also Wit starting to move in. Yasuo at the same time is trying to zone them out. The wall has pretty much already fallen, so that is pretty solid here. A good early game performance from both teams, but when it comes to structure damage, it is definitely the red team. It is Crystal Gaming that is pushing the envelope a little bit. And they are actually starting to heavily attack the bell tower down here at the bottom right now. And that's some serious early game damage against one of the most important structures on this map already. Now, of course, Deathwing is starting to slide in now too. But that was a really nice attack by Crystal Gaming. And again, they totally have the potential to win a series here. It's going to be an absolute hype weekend, honestly. We have so many games coming up here. It's going to be pretty fun. The altars are, of course, already active. Top left, top right get exchanged as they usually do. So it's 4 shots fired on both sides. This is not going to be a 40-0 game. No North American teams in division as Europe. But the fight over the altar at the bottom of the map, that is a little bit of a different story here. Yasuo gets interrupted. 36 against 36 currently on the points. Flip over. Jaina in trouble. Ultralis gets attacked. And the big bad wolf goes for the throat and the kill. Nicely done here. And they get Deathwing too, turning him quickly into Deadwing. And now we have 3 kills against 1 for the red team. Yeah, Crystal Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out swinging into the playoffs here. They had a bit of a weird season. They had a couple of games where they absolutely underperformed. They won nearly all of the qualifiers for Season 2 and did a great job there, but then the season was a bit odd. Sometimes they played fantastic, at other days they just played incredibly meh, and it didn't really look all that strange, all that good, which in the end gave them a spot in the middle of the pack roughly. But now they're doing fantastic here in game number 1 of the best of 5 series. Now, of course, there's always the caveat that this is indeed a best of 5, and we're only at level 7 at this point, so there's plenty of time for Feel the Heat to turn things around. But they lost the bottom bell tower. The blue team lost the bottom left bell tower, which means that bot lane control is now firmly in the hands of Crystal Gaming. So they do well with this. Here comes again the flip against Malfurion, X-Ray, and he's dead. That is kill number 4 now for Crystal Gaming. It's really time for Zeratul to start and get a bit more aggressive here, I'd say. I mean, honestly, right now, the hopes and dreams of the team in blue are pretty much hinging, at least to a big extent, on Zeratul and Dino popping off on the hero, trying to get a few kills in against Greymane, Stukov, and Sylvanas. X-Ray even pausing the game. If that's not a 3-2-3 moment, then I don't know what is, honestly. Trying to stop the bleeding here, baby. But yeah, maybe we have a bit of a disconnect. Sometimes it was actually Blade that in the past had sometimes problems with this connection. Doesn't really seem like that's the issue here. But whatever the problem is, it also gives both teams a little bit of a breather. And the blue team can definitely use that. If you look at the damage output right now, we are having 14,000 for Jaina, which isn't really too bad. But just look at the opponent's team. They have nowhere near the same damage output that Jaina has, just as an example. But just because they target so much better in team fights, they're doing fantastic here. Greymane right now is going for the next camp, so that will push through the bottom of the map coming up next. We have them already a level ahead. Leo is now rotating around as the next two altars get activated on the map. And as you can already tell, we have altars at the top left and top right, which pretty much at this point means that we're gonna have an even exchange, very likely. So unless the level 10 talent comes just in time for them to make the aggressive move to the top left, the blue team should be able to at least get 4 shots fired. And that's what they're going to try and do. But at the bottom of the map, the pumpkins are now slowly starting to move in, and they really need to get heroic abilities so they can play around this. Deathwing is already on the channel, Nova is moving in here, but down at the bottom, that's where the pumpkins are, and they have to let one in, and yeah, they were able to defeat the other two. Now, again, Garrosh can still, of course, throw stuff around here a little bit. That one gets eliminated as well. But the exchange of the altars has already taken place, as expected. Level 10 abilities with the Cursed Bullet now, so they're definitely going to home in on Deathwing a little bit. I mean, the Drain is great against the Dragon, and then also you have the Bullet on top of that. Okay, so here we go. 10 abilities nearly ready for the blue team. And let's actually see what's happening around that. Over there, in the middle, there's already the slide straight up for Leo. He should be able to get out because, yeah, Jaina was not in range to slow him down even further. But level 10 abilities will give us the Might of Narazim for Zeratul, and then those fights will become a little bit more spicy for Crystal Gaming. They really have to show that they're able to lock Zeratul down with the taunt, maybe even with the Wailing Arrow. I mean, anything that can really stop him in his tracks would do well for them. But since the bottom bell tower is still under the control of Feel the Heat, we have them now with 5 bell towers against 3. And the blue team has to fight back here. I mean, they need to reclaim this thing at some point if they want to win this one. So it's 26 points on the core against 33 in favor of Crystal Gaming. And off we go already, pushing them back down here, trying to make their plays. Yeah, there's the bullet already. Dragon is a bit low. They're trying to go for Zeratul. Dino's still alive, and Garrosh is low, and Garrosh is down. There's the kill they needed. Still taking a lot of damage as they dove into the bell tower itself, but now still the opportunity to take it back at least, and that's exactly what they're aiming for here. Yeah, making their play, and the bell tower is grabbed. But Entomb is there, and Ultralisk, he doesn't have the ice block yet. He dies, but they go for the counter kill, and they get Stukov and Greymane. Nicely done. Kill Fiesta right here. Well played by them. Yeah, Yasu. Straight in front of the maw of the dragon. That didn't go as planned, I'd assume. So, yeah. That was a little bit unfortunate here. So that's now 5 kills against 5. 4 shots fired after reclaiming the bell tower, thanks to the altar. And guys, this brings us now to 26 to 29 points. So the game is all of a sudden wide open again. Yeah, it was a bit of a tricky moment in the early game when the bell tower was lost to the blue team. But now that they're fighting back, getting not only kills but also structures, they're in a pretty decent position right here. Down to the bottom of the map, that's where we currently see our little setup with X-Ray and Wit still holding the line as much as they possibly can. Leo is still rotating in the middle and is of course trying to catch the experience here, as he should. 13 talents are ready for both of the teams, and the invade at the bottom left pumpkin camp is happening again. But the camp has already been claimed, so the red team is slightly too late. Virulent reaction on level 13. Coronavirus. So Stukov definitely dangerous these days. And bam! There's ETC. People are always talking about like the labs in Wuhan, the bats and all that crap. Guys, don't believe that shit. It was definitely Stukov. I mean, honestly, he didn't really feel respected in the Nexus, and he just said, well, I guess I need to unleash a little bit of a virulent reaction here of myself, or people just don't take me serious. So now all of a sudden he gets picked, and for good reason. Yeah, people respect this a lot. No face masks in the Nexus. Not sure what to tell you there. So, with level 13, we also get the Wicked Inferno. By the way, as far as I know, Nexus also doesn't have any toilet paper. That removes one problem right off the bat. Bottom bell tower has been reclaimed again by the red team, so that's 5 against 3 right now, which is pretty nasty as well. And they are trying to go for another bell tower in the middle of the map, and I really gotta give some credit to them. They are doing exceptionally well when it comes to structure pressure. Also doing really well here. Here's the next hit, and they're trying to take down the next kill. Jaina actually got the ice block now. Oh, Kolios, careful. Greymane, yeah, wolf against the dragon, you know usually how that ends. So here comes our little setup and the attack, already used to. Tranquility comes in, X-Ray tries to stay alive here, and attempting to set something up as both teams are fighting for the altar. But of course there is still that slightly skewed situation in terms of bell tower control in favor of Crystal Gaming that we are facing here. 5 against 3. Altar channel nearly coming through, but Garrosh interrupted it. Nice. Okay. Now another quick attack here. Blade is eating a ton of damage in this case. Yeah, he is eating damage the entire time. There's the taunt and there's the kill as ETC is down. And Tomb is being used to. Big shove against Dino. Ice block, but Jaina dies too. Dino is sitting tight here. He's trying to get some extra damage in, but he had to move out because Ixia was already sniffing him out. And that's another 5 shots fired. Guys, Crystal Gaming popping off a little bit in this game. It was a bit of a hiccup in the mid-game when he got slaughtered in a team fight and starting to have some troubles here. But they're still 8 shots ahead now, and the bell tower control is starting to become an actual concern. Yeah, there's little to do. 16 talents are ready. The auto attack style for Leo continues with the Mithril Mace now as his level 16 talent. Talking about auto attacks, Executioner is in. Additionally, we have Life Drain for Sylvanas, and they're taking that bell tower. That's 6 bell towers against 2. Blue team is trying to defend the bottom of the map. I'm not even sure if they can do that, but map control is about to be completely lost to Feel the Heat. And even though they're trying to let the opponent feel the heat with Molten Flame on the dragon, who gets, by the way, immediately bullets to the face, but is able to fly out. But this is starting to get more than a bit tricky for Feel the Heat here. I mean, this is honestly starting to become a huge problem. 6 against 2 bell towers? I mean, are you shitting me? That's going to be insanely difficult to break through. There's very little that they can accomplish now, and they also have a tough time going into the middle of the map to fight for any of these altars that are about to spawn. It's a triple altar phase that keeps coming up now. So we could actually see single digits quite easily now on the side of Crystal Gaming. 1 bell tower at least gets heavily attacked now and might be claimed before the altars activate. Indeed, they are able to grab him. That was important, that was really important, but that still leaves us with a 3 versus 5 situation on the map. Up to the top. That's where we already have our altars in position. Boss so far hasn't been attacked even once. Sylvanas is down at the bottom of the map. And it seems like they're going to try and fight for the top right. Sylvanas is left alone at the bottom. Yeah, Malfurion on the left side has already started to channel. And there's another kill against ETC. 5 shots against 3 now taken. Sylvanas still claiming the bottom. Has actually been interrupted there, and yeah, there's another interrupt. Deathwing just being a pain in the ass. But this is going to end with the blue team dropping down to 11 points on the core. 11 against 26. So, yeah, great play from Crystal Gaming. Sylvanas top damage on the red team with 32,000. Jaina overall has still more. Leo is, by the way, the only one that hasn't died yet. Definitely not activating his trade here. No trade value for Leo. And experience, the two teams are pretty much on the same level now. I mean, we nearly see both of them on level 18, so it's incredibly close, but that doesn't really change anything when it comes to kills and also, more importantly, to bell tower control. So Leo is already pushing through the top again. Greymane is doing his job at the camps as he's taking another pumpkin camp at the bottom. Deathwing trying to zone him out. They are reclaiming the bell towers now. So there's at least that. But again, someone on the blue team side has to absolutely pop off for them to make a comeback here. Which is not going to be nice, or not going to be easy at all. It's all eyes on Dino, seriously. I mean, there comes a certain responsibility with you having control or being one of the best Zeratul players in Europe. People expect great things. Then again, opponent teams are usually ready for you and expect you to try and make some plays. And if they can shut you down with a good taunt on Garrosh alone, for example, then that would be a swift end to Zeratul. But now with 16 talents on both sides, nearly level 19, we're looking more so towards Storm Talons, there's the attack. 2 altars are about to spawn again. Zeratul is not here. They're going for Deathwing again. The bullet connects. Yes, they're trying to take him down. Tranquility has been used in this fight. I'm not quite sure why, because Deathwing doesn't give a shit about Tranquility, and everybody else was still absolutely fine. So X-Ray apparently fat-fingering his button a little bit. That was a bit of a panic press, I think, because of Deathwing losing his hit points and getting attacked here, but that doesn't really help him. So that was a problem. Now we have Zeratul starting to move in against Leo. Fight is raging on. And Garrosh eats a ton of damage, but isn't taken down yet. But we also have Sylvanas in a bit of trouble. Gets the Wailing Arrow through, so that's nice. But still, the fight is still not over. Leo channeling at the top and gets interrupted at the last second. Nicely done by Jaina. But that was clutch for sure. And Zeratul, Dino needs to make the play now. He needs to find something here. He's looking for Garrosh in particular, but he has to be careful. Taunt has been used already. There's still stuns available. Another Entomb comes out. Blade is starting to fly away. ETC, party time, gets thrown, but it doesn't matter. Greymane is down, and so is Garrosh. Feel the heat. Here we go. They have 2 kills. They try to go for the 3rd, and they get it. Jaina is murdering. The altar is already channeled. That's 4 shots fired against the red team's core. They take a 4th kill, and now they can, in theory, even take the bell tower at the bottom of the map and secure themselves 5 shots. It's gonna be a 5-man wipe. They go for Leo. 5-man team wipe as they completely destroy Crystal Gaming in this battle. 10 kills against 9 at this point. And that's the end of the bell tower too. Zeratul is already rotating topside, trying to get more pressure on even another bell tower. And theoretically, they could even wait for this one, and I think really they should. There's a very solid chance that they get now pretty much all bell towers. I mean, at least 6 are realistic. The one in the middle is about to be attacked too, but at the top, this one is losing hit points quickly. Should honestly start the channel here though. I'm not quite sure if they can get all of them. I mean, they might be. Water Elemental is out, Ultralisk is in, Malfurion is coming in too. They're starting the barrage. They're gonna get 7 bell towers, guys. Yeah, they have 7 bell towers at this point. That's where the channel happens from X-Ray. And the barrage has started too. They might just be able to end their game here. Well, maybe not. But it's gonna get a lot closer. 14 points on the core. The attack at the bottom of the map. Deathwing is already defending as much as he can. Level 20 talents. And that's the end of Garrosh, guys. This might be game. This might actually be game. Zeratul. Oh my god. Dino jumping in. He gets the triple kill. Cleave for the double kill. And that is pretty much lights out. I mean, 10 points on the core against 11. But the core keeps firing. The barrage is not stopping, and the 2 heroes that are remaining here, they have to try and reclaim at least 1 bell tower and get some control here. And it's not happening at all. This is a mad problem, guys. I mean, things are really not looking pretty at this point for them. I honestly don't know what's going on with this. I mean, whew. There's another flyover. And they're winning it. They're actually winning it with a barrage. I don't even know when I've seen this the last time, if I've ever seen this. Shots are fired, pumpkins in, and this is game. Feel the heat. They take the lead. What a 6.5 out of 10 moment here. Game number 2, feel the heat with a 6.5 out of 10 moment, ladies. Yeah, that was actually a great one. I honestly didn't think they could win this game. I really didn't think they were able to pull that off. But then, not only Jaina, but also, finally, Zeratul popped off and they were able to secure the victory. Now we're looking at Tomb of the Spider Queen as our second map in the best of 5 series here in the playoffs. And let's have a bit of a look of how this is going to pan out for the red team, because I honestly feel like they should be a bit annoyed with this. Deathwing, by the way, has won again in the competitive scene. Now, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we have the Insta ban against Vala. I guess we're going to see the same ban pattern, though, for the blue team. Zarya gets banned out. I would assume that Maiev is also going to get banned out, too. Well, there's obviously now the small problem that if the red team doesn't ban Deathwing, then Feel the Heat has to decide which hero they would go up against. Well, the problem doesn't present itself. Deathwing gets banned, so apparently Crystal Gaming also don't want to play the hero. And there we have Maiev banned out as well, as more or less already expected. So Ixir this time with Ana. Look at that. Meta hero for him. What's happening here? Ana gets picked, and, well, let's see what the blue team is locking in. Jojo would be kind of nice for the wave clear on those lanes. That's obviously a hero that you could focus on right now. But instead is Ethereal, okay. And Jimmy. And my question immediately becomes what we see as the level 1 talent on Reyna. Now, as I said, Ace in the Hole has been nerfed, so instead of the 15% extra damage, you now do 10. And that has triggered, at least in the in-house games that we've been casting recently, some players experiment with Exterminator as a level 1 talent outside of Battlefield of Eternity. And this could actually happen here too. So there's a lot of changes with the recent 2 patches, in Jimmy in particular, when it comes to talent choices on level 1. So there's always like these fine tune setups that we have. Khaldor gets played, alright, a little bit of Fire Mage action. Tomb of the Spider Queen is a decent map for him, for sure. And, well, let's have a look. Currently, the question is what else gets banned out. I mean, they could ban Jojo at this point if they are sticking with Tyrael, and getting rid of some of the wave clear would probably be a pretty nice move for Jimmy as well, of course, since you would also eliminate one of the blinds. Ah, there's the Johanna ban right there. And for the red team, what do you ban out here? I mean, you could definitely target supports, for example. Try and get rid of, I mean, maybe even Malfurion. Malfurion for X-Ray is usually one of his go-tos. It's nice to control the choke points with the roots. You have a good follow-up there too. There's other heroes that would really mesh well with Tyrael, though, in his Sanctification, that you might want to get rid of as well. For example, we have, I mean, if Nick was on the other side, I would say Kerrigan is a problem, but they go for that Malfurion ban that I just suggested a second ago. Which leaves also, with the Tyrael combo, a couple of picks open, like for example Greymane. If you really want to add something else to Reyna and you don't want to jump into a mage now, you can actually go into Greymane at this point. So, let's see. What do we get for X-Rayness boys? I mean, first of all, what's going to be a support? Are we going to see Rhaegar here for him? Oh, Deckard Cain. Oh, the old man and Leo. That's a disgusting Leo skin. That Space Lord skin never really did anything for me, honestly. It's all about the Janitor or that Ice Giant that you can go for, which is so much better. Space Lord Leoric never really did a whole lot for me. And if you go Space Lord, then you have to go into the red tint, I feel. I mean, there are certain synergies that are just absolutely crucial and important. And I think a lot of these kids just don't appreciate this. Alright, so Diva, alright. Up to the Diva pick, I was fully on board with all of this, but now we have Diva actually selected. Okay, this is making things a bit more interesting. Dino gets the last pick on the blue team side before we're heading into map number 2, but yeah, that Diva pick is certainly special. That's something that I didn't necessarily see coming here. So yeah, that will become an interesting pick. It is Crystal Gaming. They do stuff like this. They pick Diva. They pick a lot of these heroes that you wouldn't really expect from a lot of other teams. And here comes Gul'dan, the final pick. More wave clear for the blue team. Let's jump into the Spider Queen game number 2 in the best of 5. Feel the heat. Not feeling the heat so far. At this point, they're just dishing out the heat. But we now have Diablo and Khaldor on the other side. But let's introduce the blue team. First of all, on the left side, X-Ray on Deckard Cain, the old man. I always knew that X-Ray secretly identified as an old geezer. Wit on Tyrael, Blade on Leoric, Ultralisk on Gul'dan, and Dino on Reyna. Okay, on the right side of the map, what exactly do we have here? Kolios on Khaldor, Slade on Rexa, Ixia on Ana, Yasuo on Diva, that's gonna be a meme, and Skilby on Diablo. Yeah, the Diva pick more so than anything else is something that I'm already interested in, to see how this is gonna work out for them. Level 1, the rushdown. But yeah, Diva is always a little bit of a weird hero when it comes to competitive play, but I'm curious to see what they can do with this. By the way, all the speculations about the potential change in the level 1 talent, we see all of those were a bit in vain. Ace in the Hole is still being picked, despite the fact that there was a 5% decrease on all of this. Instead of 15, we have now only 10% here, so they reduced it by 5 in total. But yeah, so still trying to play that around, and I mean there's a lot of slows available, obviously. You have Leo with the Skeleton Swing. There's also Deckard Cain, the old man, who can make a bit of a play there too. And well, let's check that out. Over here, The rotations are already in towards the top to try and molest D.Va a little bit here. But yeah, it's just the usual rotations. Mid and top lane are rotating. Bit of a skirmish. Everybody trying to do a bit of damage here. Living bomb so far. There's not really a spread happening since the guys obviously know what they're doing here. But already there's down to the bottom of the map. Rexa holding the line. Rexa is another hero that got changed in the patch a little bit. Not really too much. Misha, generally speaking, is now a little bit weaker. Doesn't have as many hit points anymore and as much hit point regeneration. But Rexa does a bit more damage now with his own auto attacks. So pretty much the idea was just like to force Rexa to participate in the battles a little bit more and not rely on Misha too heavily. Which is totally fair, by the way, because Misha was exhausted. I mean, she was doing so much work over the last couple of months that at some point it just didn't feel fair. And so finally now Rexa has to also chip in a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, again, Peter talked to them a little bit too, and Rexa said, yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna make a public statement on Twitter, it's not a problem. But yeah, I feel a little bit bad about all of this. So now we have level 4 on both sides, and also the camps in the middle have been taken. Bruiser camps for both teams, and that's where the action is going to start up a little bit. The fusion generator for D.Va as the level 4 talent right here. And already is setting the bomb up. Pretty good one, actually. That's a really nice one. Did a lot of damage also to Dino, who got caught there a bit, but that was an insta... I mean, takedown not only on some of the structure hit points, but more importantly, it more or less took that entire wave down. The problem is that Khaldor dies a second later, so as good as that initial engage was, the result is still the same. Khaldor is down, and that is a bit of a problem here for them. At this point, everybody jumps straight up to the top and is trying to even secure a bit more, but that's nearly a level lead now for the blue team. So they are actually looking quite good here. Leo at the bottom of the map is still trying to do his thing, aka drain of Misha and of Rexa. 14 stacks for Gul'dan. And turn-in attempts have been happening from both teams, but we have 18 secured on both sides, not much more than that. Interestingly enough, only the red team has enough gems to turn in. I mean, don't get me wrong, blue team is close, they need one more and then they're Gucci. But Rexa goes down at the bottom of the map as we have this little fight here in the middle. So Rexa taken down, and that's always bad news. If you lose your solo later, that automatically means that you are losing quite a few of gems that you wanted to turn in. Yeah, good dodge by Kolios here. So all of a sudden we have the turn-in potential for the blue team. Yasuo turns in. Actually, he doesn't. Gets interrupted. Nicely done. But they're still moving around here. We're already on level 7, by the way. Red Web Weavers are coming down. But it's kind of interesting. Khaldor is at 6 stacks on the Mana Addict right now. On this map. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. It's one of the best maps that you can actually go for when you are looking at Globe Talents. And he's only sitting at 6 stacks. He didn't really get a whole lot of this. And you really want to get your Mana Addict shield as quickly as you possibly can. Also, Sunfire Enchantment now on level 7 for him. Seen that a lot actually from Crystal Gaming. They like to play a little bit more with that. Red Web Weavers coming down just now. And that's also the quest completion for Diablo on the baseline. He has the souls that he needs. So let's check that out. Bottom of the map. Leo's trying to do what he can. Needs to be careful with the 19 gems that he holds. That's probably the biggest threat that they're gonna lose those. 2 kills against 0 in favor of the blue team, but D.Va is moving in again. Yasuo is trying to make a bit of a play. Level 7 talent is now in too, coming through. A little more of a knockback here, try to create some space and safety. 2 kills against 0, wall down. Bottom of the map, Leo is still defending it, but up at the top, the question is if the fort is gonna fall. I don't really think so, but they do a lot of damage to it, and they already took the fountain down. There's a kill against Ana on the other hand. Granny is down, locked down against D.Va. I don't think they can really get the entire setup, but they get some additional damage in against Jimmy. Okay, so 4 kills against 0 and a level lead still after this onslaught. Feel the heat. Must feel pretty good here. And if they turn in now, that means that the opponent won't have level 10 abilities. To be fair, even if they just get level 10 and turn straight away in, the red team won't have level 10 for the defense. Which is a big problem. Huge problem, actually. Okay, so here we go. The Lulnado is in. Also, Reyna's Raiders. Oh, there we go. Slade. Yeah, I don't really think they can get the kill here. I mean, it was okay using it, trying to set that up, but yeah, that was not really kill worthy. There's not enough damage to follow up on that yet. 30 stacks, by the way, for Ultralisk's Gul'dan, which means that he's only 10 away from securing himself his Echoed Corruption. Web Weaver is still not coming down. I mean, guys, it's going to be level 10 versus level 10 when those Web Weavers arrive, if they ever get that turn in. So, yeah. Here's our setup. Bot side, everybody is starting to jump in now too. Misha in particular is interrupting over and over again. There we go. Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus. Phoenix again. In addition to that, also the Apocalypse. And that's a kill. 1 kill in. And can they get X-Ray 2? It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, nicely done. First kill for Crystal Gaming. They're looking for more. They're looking for the kill against Gul'dan. And oh my god, what a save. Holy shit. Not bad, Fred. 31 gems still for the blue teams. They have the chance of turning in, but it's not as easy anymore now. And we're actually starting to look at a red team that has enough gems to turn in too. I mean, not quite yet, but if they just get a little bit more time, they might have an opportunity here. So yeah, it's an interesting back and forth that we see. This entire series has been nice so far. First game was of course an absolute highlight, and at least on map number 2 it seems like they are once again evenly matched. In terms of damage output, 20,000 for Rexa. Yeah, top damage for him. That little damage increase has definitely helped him. At least if you were a Rexa player that heavily participated in the fights and didn't only rely on Misha there. 32,000 for Jimmy, you know, at the same time though. 16,000 for Khaldor. Yeah, our little Fire Mage is outdone a little bit by his opponents. Okay. Here's the quest completion for Gul'dan early on. Nice for him. Web Weavers are coming down now. And they're starting to open this up again. Lulnado already used? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck away with your bomb. Yeah, nicely done. Lulnado countering the Diva explosion, and Granny is locked down again and eliminated. Honestly, you would imagine that Deckard Cain and Anna are match made in heaven. Both definitely a little bit older. It's definitely, I mean, that is, yeah, I think that actually fits. That would be it. Honestly, that would be a Tinder match. If those guys were in Tinder, that would be a Tinder match for sure. Yeah, well, but either way. Can you imagine this guy? Yeah, well, I heal people. Oh, that is so cute. Me too. Yeah. I have a pretty stressful job. Really? I do too. Okay, so I fight demons and all of that shit. Oh my god, what a coincidence. Anyways, 5 kills against 1. 13. Ah, the Entomb. Trying to go for the follow-up right here. But not quite. Alrighty, so let's go. Boss? No, nothing. Really? Ah, well, 2 forts down. Structural perspective, much better for now for Feel the Heat. A little bit of catapult pressure. The Ancient Blessings right here. Okay. Hit him with a stick. 13 versus 13. Siege Giants have still been taken, but yeah, when it comes to gems, just look at that amount. 73 in the... I mean, they pretty much have the same amount of gems, just roughly, but 37 have already been turned in by the red team. Diablo engaged with the combo straight into the stun. And X-Ray makes it out of that. Yes, the old man, a little bit rusty, but still doing well. Leo falls though. What a horrifier on the other hand, but it doesn't seem like they can capitalize on it, or so I thought, until that Sanctification came through. Now the double kill against Khaldor and against Rexa. And the red team is bleeding gems at this point. Yasuo still has 14. I think Diablo has the lion's share of it at this point. But they're trying to go for Ixia first, and Granny is not going to get away here. Ixia down. Gul'dan is starting to chase Diablo a little bit more. Nice! That was a great Entomb again to lock down Diva, and that could be a kill. Oh, and it is a kill. Holy ground, baby! And they're killing everybody! That's a 5-man wipe! Yep, they're gonna get the last kill too, and that's all of the gems eliminated. The problem is that Diablo already turned in. So now Diablo turned in, but it also means that the only thing that this Web Weaver wave is doing is buy them a little bit of time to respawn on the map. I mean, better than nothing, right? But they still lost quite a few gems. Diablo turning in means that the blue team now has to defend. Dibbles already had enough souls to respawn automatically, so there's that. But those Web Weavers are not really going to do a whole lot. Yeah, they won't. Okay, so with this, we have 11 kills against 2. Diablo is down again. And, well, that's currently 11 kills against 2. Leo with another Entomb attempt up at the top. Keep that holy ground in mind. Wait, you need to be a bit careful. 35 gems in your hands. I would be a little bit cautious here. Okay, so everybody is jumping onto Blade as it seems. And I don't really think that Leo's going to survive through this. But they take D.Va down too, aren't they? Khaldor dies first. Khaldor dies. D.Va is on the run. And the fort falls. But, by the way, there's also a bit of a push happening bot side. Where the Web Weaver, the one that was not molested by the blue team, has also finally done some significant damage. There is still a significant amount of gems in the hands of the blue team. And they can easily turn in now. I mean, these bad boys hold 104 gems right now. 104, which is kind of nasty in and of itself. So if they can turn those in, that's pretty much a double turn in. We're not quite there yet, but close. And with the talent advantage, 2-level stats advantage, that looks pretty good. Keep just in mind that all of the forts are already down on the red team side. And if Feel the Heat locks in another victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen, no matter how close these games are, then we're talking about a 2-0 lead in the series. Yeah, another attempt actually to use the bomb for the D-push. So far so good. Takes that down. Minion wave is immediately dead, and also a big part of the hit points of the Bruiser camp have been eliminated. Blue team get the Web Weavers. And now we go. At this point, this is getting... Okay, this is the dangerous part now. They will have 16 versus 16, but you could theoretically lose keeps now. And that makes this incredibly spicy. So, already... we have the camp eliminated, but they're starting to chase. What a move! Horrify after the Lulnado, and Ana is down, and they're looking for more. They're going for the kills here. Ultralisk, he doesn't fall. Khaldor, on the other hand, has been eliminated. Dibbles is on the run. That's another kill. This is bad news for the red team. Crystal Gaming is in trouble. The French team, they're going for the French defense now, or at least they're trying, aka they're running away. But only D.Va is able to make it out. Or is she? Yeah, Entomb is on a 5-second cooldown, so can't be used here. And I think this is at least 2 keeps that are falling now. The one in the middle is going to be toast. The one at the top is already getting assailed by the Web Weavers. This might also be game. I mean, they're getting murdered here. That bomb is going to help a lot. I got pushed back actually by the Lulnado quite a little bit. But holy shit, are they getting killed here. 17 kills against 3, nearly level 20 now. Keep down. The one at the top is falling too. The one at the bottom of the map, is that going to survive? Like, honestly, I really don't know. If the blue team moves in for it, then definitely not. There's level 20 now for them too. Entomb was missed. Depending on what he wants to hit here. If he wanted to just catch the spider, then he definitely got it. I recommend books. If you're trying to kill spiders, I recommend books. If you just try to trap it, then a glass usually does the trick. Going for a tomb just to catch a spider is a little bit going overboard. Then again, the Skeleton King was already always one for the big gestures. But yeah, so if Leo wanted to catch a spider there, then it was successful for all what it's worth. But let's look at the minimap. All keeps gone, so in case that you don't really play a lot of Heroes of the Storm, that's bad. That's pretty bad. It's really bad. But 78,000 damage, last hurrah as they're going for the Hail Mary, and yeah, they're getting killed again. Down goes the Fire Mage. Khaldor is dead. Dibbles is down too. There's another big boy in Tomb, this time, of course, also with the added silence. Look at the amount of regeneration globes that Khaldor has, by the way. 21. I don't even know when he completed the quest, but it must have just been recently, so that is not looking good for him either. They're going for Yasuo down here. Has another one ready, but of course this is the end of the game. Rexa has fallen on the left side. They're still chasing D.Va. This is lights out. This is game. I mean, there's no escaping this anymore. Yasuo is on the run, gets body blocked too. The holy ground is a little bit too late, but that doesn't change the outcome of the game anymore. This is going to be a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 for Feel the Heat against Crystal Gaming. Nicely done. So, here we go. Solid performance, Feel the Heat with a 2-0 lead as we are headed into game number 3 of the best of 5 series in the playoffs. Okay, game number 3. Welcome to Tomb of the Garden Curse, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Tomb of the Garden Curse, it is a very innovative map where Blizzard once again just shows that they have completely new approaches to the question of objectives. They have totally not ripped off Cursed Hollow or Garden or Tomb of the Spider Queen here. It's completely different. It is completely different, I promise you. Whereas on Cursed Hollow, you're actually channeling tributes. Here on Garden of Terror, you're channeling seeds. And when you complete the objective, you get 3 of them. It's not the same as on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where you have just like web weavers moving on all of the lanes. No. That's not what happens here. Here it's garden terrors that make an appearance. So it's completely different. It has nothing to do with the other 2 maps. So now that we're looking at Tomb of the Garden Curse, we have, of course, with the big map also in our 3rd game of this series, a lot of potential global heroes that they could pick, and that's why Falstad gets banned out right away. But it seems like the blue team is totally cool with what they played previously, or banned previously. They're just getting rid of Zarya, and let me think, what could be their second ban? Could it be that they're gonna get rid of Maiev? Is there a chance? I would say yes. Depends a bit, I suppose, what Crystal Gaming is banning now. I still think that if they don't ban Deathwing, the chances are that Feel the Heat feel forced to ban him out. But they don't, so we're totally fine. And yes, there's it. There it is. Deathwing banned at Maiev, yes, no? Maybe a little bit of a different ban against Ixia. This is a big map, so we talked a lot about globals and just about macro game in general. I gotta admit that I would love something along the lines of having Abathur's Zeratul for Feel the Heat and just see how Dino can actually play with the Zeratul in a big map like this and the Abathur macro aspect. But there's the Maiev ban again, as we already pretty much expected. So far so good. And what's the first pick? I expect a couple of shenanigans to come out here of Crystal Gaming, especially when we're talking about someone like, let's say, Ixia, for example. This is a map where I think in the past he actually played Lucio here. And his Lucio is terrifying. I mean, Lucio is not usually a hero that I praise a whole lot, but if you see Ixia playing Lucio, then you know what's up. So Ana gets played, X-Ray locks her in. We also have Blaze on Wit. There's ETC. And what else? ETC has a bat on his guitar case, by the way. Just saying. Just saying. Coronavirus. But yeah. So, yeah, there it is. Lucio, told you. Lucio is in. Off we go. Jamming around. Okay. Let's actually see if this is gonna work for him. On the one hand, it's a little bit weird because I really would love a few more games out of this series, but I really feel that Feel the Heat is currently finding their rhythm and are starting to play a little better here. I guess at the end of the day, it comes down on what we're seeing in the draft now unfolding. I really want to see what Dino in particular picks. Okay, Hammer is getting banned out. Is there a chance that we're going to see Tracer here? I mean, banning Hammer out can always be kind of nice when you have these sieged up positions, but then again, auto attacks are definitely threatening Tracer more so than anybody else and a few more of these heroes, so let's see. Okay, so what do we get as the final ban on the side of Crystal Gaming? What do they get rid of? Greymane! Okay, the big bad wolf eliminated. Okay, time to shine. Show me what you got, boys. I mean, there are still a couple of globals up too, by the way. So we talked about the Falstad ban, but of course the Haka is still up. Deathwing is banned out, so that's not really an issue, but the Haka is still available to the teams. There's a few more globals in as well. Okay, we have a Vala set up. I like that too. Not a fan of the skin here, but I like the Vala pick. And there is Jaina too. Okay. Girl power. Ana, Vala, and Jaina. And who knows who's really in that armor suit. Could be anybody. So, let's see. Final 2 picks on the red team side. What do we get? Yasuo and Slade still need their heroes. I mean, we need a little bit more damage, and more importantly, we need an offlaner for them.
Where will we end up this time?
Hype! The Vikings! Nice! Alrighty, I love it. Fantastic. Yeah, that's of course another hero that you can play on the macro level. Okay, guys, here we go. It is Viking time. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And Sonya. Alright guys, let's go! Garden of Terror, the Vikings, they were lost again and now they are trying to find their way through Garden of Terror. Game number 3 in the best of 5. Let's jump in and check it out. Division S playoffs. Here we go again. Where will we end up this time? Alright, I'm bad at that accent, but still, I'm happy that the Vikings are in here. On the left side, X-Ray on Ana, Dino on Vala, Wit on Blaze, Blade on Sonya, and Ultralisk on Jaina. And on the right side of the map, we have Kolios on the Vikings, Ixi on Lucio, Skabubi on ETC, Yasu on Sylvanas, and Slade is playing Thrall. Awesome! So, let's have a bit of a look at our Viking setup here. The Viking Bribery on level 1. Honestly, that talent is a little bit of an insult in my opinion. Vikings can't be bribed, and I don't really think that Vikings have to resort to bribery either. If you are a proud Viking and you come in and you just take what is yours, you know, that's how you do it. You don't have to bribe shit out of anyone, so I'm a little bit insulted by that talent in particular. But either way, I'm happy that they're here. We have arrow build for Vala. That's the first thing to note, of course. And in addition to that, the block party for ETC. That's a party for sure. But yeah, Vikings are setting themselves up, so we currently have them controlling 2 lanes. It's one of the mistakes that a lot of the Plastic League and Wood League players make when they try to use Vikings, that they actually spread them out on all 3 lanes instead of just simply controlling 2 at the beginning of the game and allowing a 4-man to barrel through the 3rd one. Now that can obviously change throughout the game and especially in the mid game, but at the beginning there's just no reason to spread on all 3 lanes directly if your team knows what it's doing. Which again is a big ask if you're talking about Shit League. Sorry, Storm League. I'm always forgetting that SL stands for Storm League, not Shit League. My bad, my apologies. It's just the quality of games that made me misspeak here for just a second. It's an easy mistake to make, I think. Anyways, 0 deaths on either side, which also means, of course, 0 kills. The Sylvanas push in the 4-man is moving through the top lane, attempting to take this down. Has already broken through a tower, nearly the gate. Baylog is eliminated at the bottom of the map, and that rotates Eric down to the bot lane immediately to soak up the XP. We have up at the top, still the attempt at eliminating the gate and the rest here, but they're trying to capitalize on this format as much as they can right now. So Vala is currently doing her thing over here, having at the same time is now locked out against Vala as Ixir comes in, and yeah, that was just a little bit too much to handle. So yeah, nicely done. Good job by her. So it's an easy one, an easy kill. But of course, with the first seed now spawning, we also will see the teams try and fight over this a little bit more. There's a kill for the red team. They're a little bit ahead, not by a lot, but that will obviously change over time. If the game opens up, if we see a lot of the forts destroyed, the Vikings will have a lot more space to work with. X-Ray gets eliminated. Yeah, look at that. They're getting caught quite a bit now. A lot of these moves empowered by Lucio, but that was a neat one, and that was a good job by Crystal Gaming. So that's the second one in the row that you can take down. At the top, Sylvanas is gonna fall. Yeah, Dino gets the kill over here. Well played, and they're gonna get one of the Vikings too. So that's another one. Down at the bottom of the map, on the other hand, there's the sea that was already channeled. So yeah, we get a couple of kills now for the blue team too. But on the objective, the red team is ahead for sure. So, bottom of the map. Ultralisk is currently still fighting back here. Against the Vikings, you of course have to always be quite... I mean, you have to have a lot of map awareness. You can't really be in a spot where you just get completely overwhelmed on the macro level. You need to be willing to throw out a couple of decent rotations and really make your plays there. And that's exactly what they're currently doing there too. Already moving in down here at the bottom in an attempt to take the camp. Both teams are heavily focusing on it right now, but with a slight advantage in numbers, it is the blue team that locks this one in. Vikings, of course, are not going to be fighting in any fights until the later stages of the game. Oftentimes, you will see them waited out until level 16 before we then see action with Olaf having the stun ready. Ancestral Wrath for Thrall as his level 7 choice. Still a bit of a fight down here, and Ultralisk gets caught again. These quick rotations are a little bit too much for them to handle, and this cap is actually being stolen away. And in theory, they might even have the chance to go for Wits, but they don't have a lockdown anymore. It still got dicey, though. But it's a nice approach that we now have from the team in blue to try and take the camps, because the Vikings will have a tough time to deal with all of that pressure. I mean, Balog again with the AoE that he has is still situated for it. But now we have another move over to the next seed. This is the second one in the game. Vala goes down though. I gotta say, Crystal Gaming, they feel a little bit unleashed right now. These boys are putting in some serious effort in the attempt to win game number 3 and start a bit of a comeback here. Definitely in the realm of possibility if they continue to play like this. They're already pushing the top. Sonya goes down and so will the fort. They're completely controlling this here. They have full-on control over everything, and there's now also going to be more experience lost at the bottom of the map, so that adds insult to injury. And look at the mid lane, where Wit is also slightly isolated, so he's currently trying to get away from this one. Should be able to make it out eventually, I suppose. Then again, he doesn't have bunker ready yet, so if the jet propulsion isn't connecting, then yeah, gets booped back, and that's Ixia again, just leading his team to another kill. Goes down at the top. There's also a problem as Ana falls, and they get another kill against Jaina. Guys, Crystal Gaming is absolutely murdering the opposition here. I mean, these guys are taking no fucking prisoners right now. They move in, they take everybody apart. It is a little bit disgusting what's happening right now. I mean, this is just a straight up beating that we're witnessing here. I feel a little bit bad for the blue team. I mean, holy hell. They're taking everything. They steal their lunch money. And yeah. It's honestly dirty. And here we go. Lunch money stolen. Steal their Pornhub account. Everything. Did you guys hear this? There's actually like some of these porn sites have now given free accounts to, I think, Italians it was, because of the coronavirus. I mean, I'm sick too. No, I'm just kidding. Great marketing for them though. But yeah, when I heard that at first I thought it was a joke, but it's actually apparently serious. So yeah, all of that stuff happens. Alright, so 2 kills against 8. At this point we have the Garden Terrors moving onto every single lane, making their plays here. And at the top lane that could become an issue, but there's already a defense set up. Down here they're gonna lose this one for sure though. So yep. This one is going to be eliminated, and guys, we're going to go for hero kills again. And Jaina gets just farmed. Oh, seriously, Jaina gets farmed. You think about Viking farming, there's nothing happening with that. Jaina is the one that is just getting locked down time and time again in this game. We have now, how many deaths do we have of her? Only 3, really? Feels like she died a lot more often than that. But yeah, Jaina down, and 13,000 damage on Sonya has the top damage. The bot lane has now been eliminated, they're making the play even here. And this is, I mean, I honestly don't know. At this point, I'm just wondering if at some point Feel the Heat might have just a bit of a power spike, enough coordination to turn this around, but things are really not looking good for them. And the elite that we now have with 7 kills, the level, talent advantage in just a few seconds for Crystal Gaming seems pretty much impossible to catch up to. Now, you have to, of course, remember, as the map opens up, Vikings, generally speaking, become stronger because they have more room to work with. Moshpit gets interrupted. That could be a kill. Nice sound barrier. Ixia once again showcasing why he's such a fantastic Lucio player. And yeah, he almost makes the heroes look viable. So at this point, Dainu survives and ETC goes down. Now, every single time I see Ixia playing Lucio, I forget that he's not a real hero and just an oversized minion. Which is really just to the credit of Ixia. He is fantastic in that position. Blade is already moving away. Up at the top, the gate falls though, and we have towers now also eliminated. It's a little bit of experience lost for the red team too. But let me actually look at the experience, just generally speaking. So let's have a bit of a look at this. Right now, in minion experience, it's actually the blue team that is ahead. So despite the Vikings on the map, it was not the red team that has soaked up more minion experience. But they are now ahead through structure experience, passive experience, hero experience, of course, and even mercenary experience. So that's where the Viking bribery is still helping out a little bit. But generally speaking, as it continues, they should actually start to take over in the minion experience here for sure. So, top side. It's more about the next seed right now. So, now that we have 13 versus 13 talents, let's see who gets the seed for now. Okay. Here comes Skibby starting to jump in again. Already waiting for the next power slide to set a bit of a kill up, but he's pretty much alone right now. But look at the minimap, with the Vikings spreading out all over the place in the camps that have been taken previously. The blue team is now... Yeah. I was about to say the blue team is in trouble, and I don't think I have to really highlight it anymore, because with the kill against Vala, you could have figured that out for yourself. But you look at the minimap, and the Vikings are pushing these lanes. Now we're going to see a kill against Jaina again. And Ixia actually survives. A slide, and that could even be another kill. But even if it isn't, look topside. That's going to push in bot lane. This is also going to happen. Another Viking makes it over to the sea to channel that through. Vikings OP, ladies. I don't know what to say here. I honestly don't know what to say. The fort is already down and the Vikings are just murdering. This gate is already broken through, is opened up. Vikings can slowly start to take this down before they go for the seed itself. At the bottom of the map, if the team rotates in and maybe Sylvanas helps out too, they get another one. Top lane, Balog has died for a good cause though, so there's that. And here we go. 3 against 13. Kill count. 2 levels ahead, and we have a level 60, which gives us now the large and in charge, and all of a sudden the Vikings are pretty solid in team fights too, just because of that stun and the setup that they can play around it with spin to win here, with a good old level 7 talent. Yeah, the wall is also opened up. The entire game is so dominant by Crystal Gaming that I honestly don't know what's going on here. I mean, seriously, this is like, it's like Feel the Heat is just sitting there and taking the beating time and time again. I mean, they see the blows coming, they just can't do anything about it. It is absolutely crazy compared to the last 2 games. I mean, game 1 was incredibly close. Game 2 had its moments. But towards the end, it became clear that there was a team that dominated all of it. Ixia is also starting to chase Sonya away. Sonya, of course, anticipating that there are more heroes with this push. Which isn't really the case right now, but still. 14 kills against 3. And we're starting to rotate down to the bottom of the map again. Ixia is sitting tight right now. Okay. And, well... let's have a look. There's a setup against Skibby. That didn't really do anything just yet. Attacks keep coming. And there come the Vikings. Double kill already against Jaina and Anna. And yeah, that's trouble. That is a big problem right now. With, yes, he's down too. That's 3 kills. 3-level lead. Top lane gets pushed. Sylvanas is here. Honestly, this is going to be multiple keeps. If it's not core, then it's going to be multiple keeps for sure. Especially with Sylvanas. They're already breaking through the middle. Top lane, they don't even have to worry about that. That alone is going to do its thing. No assistance needed. But what a game. Damn. This is a great way to just put yourself back into a series and say like, hey boys, we're still here. 18 against 3, the kill count, big lead. I mean, it's honestly crazy. And now they have taken the first keep, they're taking the second up at the top, so 2 keeps down. Whereas the blue team hasn't even taken down a single fort yet. Not one! Yeah, 2 keeps eliminated, and off we go. Level 20 is so close. They're gonna look at a 4-level lead. Olaf goes down, doesn't really matter too much, but boy, boy, boy. Ah, I mean, just look at this. 19, nearly 20 now. And it is rough once again. Alright, so let's go. Right now, what else do we have? I mean, the damage amount in and of itself is already something to also point out here. 27,000 on Thrall, 33,000 on Sylvanas, as you could already tell. There's level 20 now with the triple bolt of the storm that we have. Vikings are now completely pushing this. I mean, look at the bot lane. With a few minions still soaking up the keep shots. Balog is doing damage to the keep already. That's the last remaining one. Vikings are everywhere. So is Lucio. I mean, he's just speeding around. Interrupting the hearths here. Interrupting the hearth back. So, yeah, they're definitely starting to freak them out a little bit. Especially as the bot lane is, of course, now attacked with ETC helping out too. And Ix is just zipping around. I mean, he's everywhere. He's just like zipping around the entire time, opening up potential kill opportunities for his team as now more and more are starting to jump in here. Dodging out on Vala's done. There's a mosh pit. Yeah, the Thrall combo was maybe not the best, pushing the targets out with Sundering, but they still get the double kill. So who cares at the end of the day? And now that Sylvanas has taken the bottom keep down, this game is going to come to its inevitable conclusion in just a few seconds. What a game. What a series, seriously. But that game in particular, incredibly impressive what we've just seen by Crystal Gaming. Expect the Vikings to be banned out if we actually play on Cursed Hollow, for example. But that's the first point on the board now for Crystal Gaming in this first round of the winner bracket here. GG and well played. Congratulations and a pretty solid performance of Crystal Gaming. Game number 4, and as hoped for, we have Battlefield of Eternity, ladies. Okay, so let's get this party started. 4th map in the best of 5 series, and Crystal Gaming has actually signaled that they are back and ready to fight with a pretty impressive fashion and a nice combo on our 3rd map, which was Garden of Terror, playing the Vikings. That's actually interesting. I honestly thought that we would see Feel the Heat with the map choice here. But they went into first pick, first ban, and it was actually Crystal Gaming that chose Battlefield of Eternity. Okay, I really thought that Crystal Gaming would most likely choose a different map if they get the chance to. But, yep, there's the early Deathwing ban. This time, honestly, the red team has to ban out Zarya or Feel the Heat is going to take her. Yeah, if they don't ban Zarya, if I expect, yes, there we go. I expect Zarya to not be banned by Feel the Heat, and then Crystal Gaming has the choice of either banning her or she's going to be first pick. Zarya is not normally a first pick right away, but if you know that your opponent wants to play her and you yourself have a chance of locking her down, then of course you have to use her in the first pick slot. And that's, I guess, what we're going to see. Medivh gets banned out, and in comes the Zarya pick. Or not? Really? Do they allow that through? I mean, it's Battlefield of Eternity after all. I'm pretty sure that there's a solid chance that Crystal Gaming is snatching that up if they get the chance. I expected more or less an insta-pick after they didn't ban her. This is the map where Zarya made her, I don't want to say comeback, but her first experience, and yes, there she is. Hesitating a little bit longer, probably discussing the next few picks. I don't really think they debated this one. This one was probably quite clear from the get-go. And now Zarya is locked in, and here comes Garrosh. Taking Garrosh away from that combo so that the speed barrier can't allow him to rush in. Zarya Garrosh was actually initially played by Granite Gaming, Laura's fan club on this map, over and over again, and super powerful, and then adapted by other teams too. We have Tigers back in though, okay. Tigers has been played a bit more recently. So now we have our old Renegade also in the game. And is that a Vala pick? Zarya together with Vala now, or what's going to be the setup? Could in theory go for Vala plus even Oriel. Ah, Jimmy instead, okay. Jimmy, no Vala setup, that's going to be next Terminator play, by the way. And Johanna in addition to that now too. Alrighty, so it's also a chance for them to really show us Feel the Heat. And spec straight into Zarya for that. But yeah, Ultralisk very likely is going to play around his level 1 with Exterminator. There's a Malfurion ban now. I could have totally seen, by the way, the Vala variation here. You go into Vala, Vara together with Zarya, it's just like super powerful. Then you go into an arrow build, you're going to be great. But what else? We have, for the time being, the double pick on the red team side, since now Ana has been banned out. So it's more of a lockdown on the supports that we see from both of the teams. But there's still plenty supports to be had, so it's not like we are going to run into a shortage anytime soon. I'm also interested what the offlaner is. Oh, Morales! Okay, that is unexpected. Morales Thrall. Ixion Morales. And this is not going to be a backdoor strategy. We've had Morales quite often this year. But it was always with the attempt to backdoor keeps, and for that you need heroes like Tyrael and a few others. With that combo you can't make it happen. Okay. So, last two picks. What is Blade going to take? What is the offlane going to play here? I think there's actually a chance that he would have gone into Thrall if they didn't pick it away. Arthas! Alright, Arthas for him. And Lucio! X-ray on Lucio. Apparently, he has taken up the gauntlet here. So now we have Lucio trying to show Ixia how it's done. Interesting. But yeah, let's go. Zarya played by Dino. What's the last pick on the red team side? Keep in mind, they have to win this one if they want to force map 5. If Feel the Heat takes it, then it's just over. There's just game right there. And they go for Nova. Okay, this is gonna be great. Yeah, that's gonna be Stim Drone Nova, 100%. Kappa, kappa, kappa. Okay, guys. Yeah, it's Crystal Gaming. They love this shit, and they are really showing us the draft now. Okay, so let's go in. Nova Morales. Let's make it happen. Battlefield of Eternity. Game on! Yeah, game 4 could be the last one, depending on the result here. Feel the Heat with the lead. The 2-1 in this best of 5 series at the Division S Europe playoffs. Ultralisk on the left side on Jimmy. We have also Dino on Zarya, X-Ray on Lucio, Blade on Arthas, and Wit on Johanna. And on the right side of the map, this is where shit gets real, with Kolyos on Tychus, Kevubio on Garrosh, but Yasuo is playing Nova. The Morales pick was already weird, and then they went straight into Nova after that. Slade is playing Thrall, by the way. But I'm interested to see if they can, if they can actually win with this shit. I mean, let's talk about it for just a second. Generally speaking, when we talk about Crystal Gaming, they are the team that plays Probius sometimes. They're the team that has always leaned towards picks that other teams just wouldn't go for, and they just follow the same pattern here again. So they go for a Nova setup in this game, and this is an important one for them, so you can definitely expect that they are putting some thought into this and played this in the past. But can they be successful with it against Feel the Heat? That's the big question. And this is one of those things, you know, if you win, you look like a genius. If you lose, everybody is going to bitch about you and how you're an idiot. So it's going to be a bit weird. And Lucio is chasing Nova. This is going to be something that we're probably seeing a few more times during this game. Nova doesn't really have an escape tool in her arsenal, so that's a problem. But at the same time now, advanced cloaking as a level 1 talent. As expected, we have Executioner. The talent was heavily buffed by Blizzard. Before the buff, wasn't really used at all, not even on this map. Initially, when the talent was built in, people dabbled a little bit, but everybody was just like, nah, no, doesn't really do anything. But now, on this map, after the buff recently, I think 2 patches ago, this is actually delivering solid damage on the Immortal and really allows for you to let Ace in the Hole just slide, especially after Ace in the Hole just recently, 2-3 days ago, got nerfed by Blizzard. It does only do 10% extra damage now, not 15 anymore. Wit goes down. Nicely done. And, yep, there we go. I mean, honestly, at this point, Nova is going to look for those kill steals again. Nova always was a little bit like the old school Riki in Dota. Always just lurking in the shadows and waiting for the last hit. And that's what Yasuo is doing here too. I think we're going to see a bit more participation from him than that. But, yeah. It will be hype. Okay. Already trying to get the hits in. And there's some decent damage. And it's actually not, even without a kill, it is a problem if your offlane has to just TP back. Because you're going to lose some of the pressure there. And as it happens, Arthur's actually cancel it. Or it was the Chain Lightning of Thrall, one of the two. But Blade is a bit low right now. And that's always a problem. Because if you start losing your HP there, you won't be able to do anything about defending those towers anymore. There's the level 4 abilities. The bigger they are for Tychus is in also. Death Lord at this point. We have in terms of Thrall plays, no Trolling Thunder, no Trash Lightning, but instead the Echo of Elements. Yeah, Morales has gone into the life support and the cellular reactor. And is now trying to help out the rest of the team as they are moving into the first objective. So, with the more Immortal spawning in just a second. Here we go. There's the immediate damage coming through. And now, of course, the big question, what can they actually pull off here? Can they actually make some plays with that? Especially since they don't really have too much damage on the Immortal. Red team, that is. Crystal Gaming, talking about the opener right now. If you compare that to Jimmy in particular with Exterminator, there's just a big difference. And the red team is likely going to lose this one. Now there's at least some on the other side, but this setup is definitely not what you usually expect on Battlefield of Eternity in regards to drafting. So, as already announced, this is an easy one for Feel the Heat, so the objective is taken. And the draft that we have for Crystal Gaming is signals from start to finish that they want teamfights. They want to get kills on the map, they want to just play around that, and they don't necessarily... I mean, they want to win the objective, but they're not going to win the objective by simply trying to go for a race on the hit points. That's not happening. What they really need to do is focus on teamfights, get kills, maybe a couple of isolation kills, and then go on the objective when they have a numeric advantage or a talent lead. But right now they are on the defensive, and that's not really a move where Nova, for example, feels very comfortable in. Get some damage in against Dino, but he is coming through with the damage output here. By the way, lost the opportunity to go into Feel the Heat and instead went for the maximum charge. Just saying. Yeah, but here's the push topside again. 7 is in. That's an extra talent for them. Death Coil build gets continued by Arthur's, and that's a fort. First objective, immediately a fort. That's a pretty nice start into game 4. That's a really good start, especially, of course, if you have a 2-1 lead in the best of 5 already. Yeah, that will become more and more dangerous here. Damage output. Nova, player killer number 1, is nearly top damage, but not quite. Thrall and Tigers are actually slightly ahead of her. I guess it's going to change as the game continues. But look over to Jimmy. 10k for him. Looking quite good here. Fight down at the bottom of the map is already starting out. Tigers is sitting at the top. Nova is taking over in the damage department with another quick snipe here. 7 talents on both sides, but that's another camp taken, and it's more pressure at the bottom of the map, and Feel the Heat is just merciless going through that. Trying to take those towers down. That one has negative hit points there, by the way. I mean, are you serious? Nice kill. Good kill. Zarya gets flipped in and gets taken down, but Thrall falls as well, and they're not stopping there. They get a kill against Tigers. They're following up, trying to also get Garrosh, but X-Ray went a little bit too deep. Yes, and he's eliminated as well. Cloud Spray on the ground. I think the Akatsuki are somewhere hidden on this map. At least that's the first indicator. Illuminati confirmed. But with 3 kills against 2, there's now an opportunity to at least prepare the next camp, because this one is up in another 40 seconds. Objective should be announced around that time too. There it is. Rotation topside now for another camp. But let's see. Bot lane is still being defended. 3 kills against 2, and off we go. The big camp at the top is taken, and that means that we're looking at even more of an experience lead for Feel the Heat. So yeah, level 10 is most likely going to be the talent when things are starting to change here a little bit. That's where we can see many more combos unfold for both teams. But until then, it will all be about Feel the Heat's abilities to be ahead here. Yeah, the bigger they are, burns Blade down, and he is dead. That was a good rotation again. Really good rotation, just as the objective is up, but Jimmy is already doing his thing with Exterminator. So they are taking the halftime show easy peasy. That's a flip. Zarya gets flipped into the back. Dino goes down. Nice. They're actually doing really well with this all of a sudden. Even the damage against Wit here was quite nasty. Attempt at a lockdown from Thrall, and when that Frostwolf connects, then it's a very different story. So now all of a sudden the situation has shifted, because up to this point it really looked like the blue team would be massively ahead around level 10, and they still have an experience lead, but they are not nearly as far ahead anymore as they previously were in experience. So this is a bit of a closer battle on the second Immortal than expected, and I don't think that the blue team will lose the Immortal itself, but they might lose out on some more hit points on the shield that they could have used to push the bottom of the map even further. But level 10 is still not here. And there's the lockdown. There we go. Odin is in, and the precision strike on the side of Nova. Morales also with nano boost. That didn't really do a whole lot. Topside, that one gets pressured though. 2 kills against 5. Topside, 2 catapults plus a camp. 1 tower down. Gate also falling. They're trying to rush down to take Wit apart. Nobody is dealing with the top. That's a bit of a problem. Oh, the blessed shield. And there's the Hyperion. And the kill against Garrosh. Nova is down to Feel the Heat, exploiting the weaknesses in the draft here without mercy. Coming in, getting 3 kills. Immortal has, by the way, down here already taken the fort down up to the top. As you can tell, this is another wall completely destroyed, opening up the keep. But especially at the bottom of the map, they are now a bit in trouble. And they can't even defend the top lane, so the keep is eventually going to take damage there too. It's not going to fall, but every damage point really counts. So right now, it's just a mad advantage that Fear the Heat is building up for themselves. And unless there's a big fight from Crystal Gaming where they turn it, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be an absolute uphill battle to fight back in this spot. Keep topside is still losing hit points, as already announced a little bit earlier. So that's an issue. The keep down here is also getting a bit hammered. Both of them will survive through this, but yep, there's the damage. It's actually 3 catapults by now, but unfortunately for them, they haven't zoned in on it, or I would have lost way more than that. But now, of course, the map is wide open for the blue team. They can easily take those camps without having to be afraid of anything. Once that the red team pushes out, they will see it eventually, thanks to those minion waves. And here we go. 27,000 damage now for Jimmy and for Tigers. The old friends with a battle on the damage and the rotation topside in the attempt to take down another camp and get even a little bit more ahead in experience than they already are. Lock in that level 13 talent, which gives them also more of a lead. Yeah, and I don't know what to say here. Both of the gates have been eliminated. Keeps have both taken damage on the red team side, unless they're able to get these sneaky kills in again. They are going to be 1 game down. And I think that's pretty much what we're looking at. They need a team fight. They need a big team fight. Seriously. They need to find an opening, force a big team fight, ideally around the same talents, and get 2-3 kills in, maybe lock the objective. And now it looks like the exact opposite is going to happen here. Or is it? Because that attack did not yield anything. But Tigers is dead. So it turned into a short panic moment for just a second. But then they could still turn it against Tigers. And that is kill number 6 now in their favor. It's actually kind of amazing how close they are in kills, now far behind the red team is when it comes to structures. So now 6 kills against 5. Camp also stolen away. I mean, it gets worse and worse and worse. Now we have 2 camps pushing through the top lane. They will have to go for it, which means that they also have to spend time doing all of that. That allows the blue team to go for the halftime show again, and Jimmy is just doing his thing. It's all about Jimmy and his exterminator. Actually, in this case, we have on level 13, Giddy up again. Now, again, you can also extend the duration of Inspire a little bit, which oftentimes is something that we see when you go into Exterminator. There's the flip, and Arthur's is still... No, oh my god! Arthur's is alive, ladies. He made it out. I don't know how, but he did it. Arthur's is still alive. Nova wants a kill, but she doesn't get it. And up at the top, the camps are still pushing. Bam. The keep is not likely to fall, but it's still going to take a bit more damage. And there's a catapult now pushing into nano boosted Odin, stim droned Odin. Yeah, nano boost and stim drone, both of that. That would be kind of interesting. That would be decent damage output. But now with the catapult moving in too, this is starting to become really tricky topside. They need to send someone up, and Thrall is already on the case. Down to the bottom of the map, it's Tigers who has taken over. But of course this means easy access to the Immortal. Attempted lockdown against Garrosh. And Jimmy can just take the Immortal down. I mean, just look how low this thing is already. They control the choke point at this moment as well. And here's even the Hyperion controlling it even more. Zone control is fantastic for them. But there's the attack attempt. Tigers gets even thrown forward. Trying to help out with this small auto attack range. Jimmy is fine up to the side, I think. 16 talents are, of course, completely out of the question for now. But they should have an easy time locking the Immortal in. I mean, that's 2,000 hit point. Get Jimmy on and get him 2-3 auto attacks in and you're fine. So, yeah. Talking damage, let's have another quick look at the output here. Tigers has taken over. Getting the stim drone has also helped him, of course. And there's more damage or more pressure mounting up at the top as we speak. No catapults for now, so that's a bit of a saving grace for them. But if the blue team gets an Immortal, there's of course no question that one of the keeps will fall. I mean, how are you planning on saving that? The only chance that you would have is wiping the opponent in the attempt and then just focusing on the Immortal, but that is pretty much out of the question. And time is working in favor of Feel the Heat too, so they have absolutely no need to be aggressive here. They have a camp pushing at the bottom of the map, they have catapults now topside, so it's starting to become really a fight against the time as well for Crystal Gaming. Alright. There they go. Skiwubi is already sitting tight there. Top side is getting attacked. And yes, that's the last one before the keep itself is going to take damage. And bottom of the map is in a similar spot. In a very similar spot. Wit is isolated. Skiwubi once again at the front here. And there's the kill and the counter kill. Johanna and Thrall are both down. The Immortal has still fallen another 600 HP. So the blue team could actually get this done. Bottom of the map, keep is falling. One keep already down. And up at the top, another one is taking damage too. It is a bad moment for Crystal Gaming. It could definitely be the case that they're dropping down into the lower bracket right now. Chances of them staying here in the winner bracket and making it to the next round are starting to thin quickly. Keep at the bottom lost. Immortal locked in. Will move through the top lane. Could take down the next keep. And this is getting really dangerous now. Because level 16 is also ready for Feel the Heat. So it's not only about the keep. At this point, we're really talking about the core. This is a big problem now. And they're trying to flank. Can't blame them. I mean, what else are you going to do? The problem is that this is, of course, a flank that's anticipated. Wit? Yeah, he was at the end of his wits there. Did not see that one coming, apparently. So that's an easy kill. And honestly, that's the kill that might have just saved them the game. And don't get me wrong, they're not saving the keep. But they might now have a chance to save the game. I doubt it. But that, they're still fighting with 4 versus 5. I mean, again, they only have to occupy them. The Immortal is already going to seal the deal here, if unattended. So they're trying to burn it down as quickly as they can. Shields are already falling. Immortal hit points are also starting to get dropped a little bit. But the action and the aggression is still there. Stimdon on Tychus. He doesn't get enough damage in. This is game. This is match. 4-1, 3-1 victory for Feel the Heat over Crystal Gaming on the 4th map of the Best of 5 series.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for watching the video today. I hope that you guys had some fun with the coverage here. If you want to support me and my work, you can do so now for absolutely free, thanks to your continued partnership with Ray throughout the entire month of March. And I would really appreciate if you could just take a couple of minutes, jump down in the YouTube description, check the link out, download the game, and play through the 20-second tutorial that ends with the dragon fight. And if you do that, you support me directly, it would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate if you would take a few minutes to do that and support the channel here. Either way, I hope that you guys had a good day today, and see you guys soon on the channel here with more esports coverage on Khaldor TV. Bye-bye.